Caroline, could I ask you to say a few words?
Yes, sir. Here we have Ariana, who is from the continent of Africa. She's been a reporter here in the United States for many years, and she has a story to share with the press, with the media, and with these two fantastic leaders who have joined you today. So, Ariana, please.
Why don't you come up here and talk so they can see?
Sure.
Hi, Rich Cole back again. Rich is talking. I decided to concentrate on all the positive things that are going on in recent times for the Trump administration. It's been amazing, really. Let's start with this little thing that happened.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yes, and that whipped Israel and Iran into shape to sign the ceasefire agreement, which so far has held up. So that's great. So other things that have happened. Trump has gotten some wins in the Supreme Court just this past week. One of them is they decided in a vote of 6-3 to limit the universal injunctions issued by federal courts. That means these federal judges around the country, they have a territory that they're responsible for, a district, and they can make rulings involving that district. They can't make national rulings from there, which they've been doing. So they have been stopping Trump from doing things he wants to do, by particular judges all around the country. It's crazy. And the Supreme Court said, no, no, no. You handle your area when it comes to national issues, dealing with the President of the United States. That's the Supreme Court. That was a great ruling. Another one was 6-3 vote again. Parents can opt their kids out of classes with LGBTQ book characters. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They weren't allowing parents to keep their kids away from that stuff at a young age. I don't know. I turned out okay. I never even heard of this stuff till I was probably in my 40s. Who needs it as kids? You just don't need this. There's so many more things. Ask them about history. You'll find out they don't know anything about history. They stopped teaching history, which is one of the greatest things they could teach people. I just get upset about that. So then there was almost a war between India and Pakistan. Trump is taking credit for settling that. India said no. Pakistan said maybe. But out of that, Pakistan nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. That's interesting. It had nothing to do with it, but they nominated him for that. Then the Congo. There's been this big war going on in the Congo. You ever hear anything about it? I never really have. I haven't paid attention to it. But it's a major, major happening. There's a woman who is a reporter she comes from the Congo. She's the only reporter from Africa, the entire continent, who's accepted into the White House pool of the press pool. And here she is talking to Trump about what he's done for the Congo.
And she has a person who's a colleague of hers, a friend of hers, and that she has a lot of respect for, who comes from the area and knows exactly what's happening. Caroline, could I ask you to say a few words?
Yes, sir. Here we have Ariana, who is from the continent of Africa. She's been a reporter here in the United States for many years, and she has a story to share with the press, with the media, and with these two fantastic leaders who have joined you today. So, Ariana, please.
Why don't you come up here and talk so they can see?
Sure.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
It's a great honor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, as Caroline has mentioned, President, first of all, I want to let you know that I'm the only African reporter accredited here at the White House and covered for the entire continent. So I just arrived from Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, yesterday. I went to see firsthand how the people is feeling and the president's message, President Felix Tshisekedi, about this upcoming peace deal. And let me tell you firsthand what I've witnessed myself. I spoke with the people on the street. I spoke with youth. They know your name. They know that our president named President Trump is working hard to finally bring peace to the country. I saw hope. They have hope now for a better day in Congo. They see what you're doing as a future, better future for Congo. And I had opportunity to sit down with President Felix Tshisekedi for an interview because I want to understand his mind, what he's thinking, his feeling about everything that your administration is doing. And he told me firsthand that for many years, many American presidents overlooked this conflict. They didn't do nothing. Even myself, I cover President Biden's administration. I pressed many times about this conflict. People are dying in Congo. This country has so much potential, but they need help because this war is destroying the country.
Sure.
They never gave me any answer. And he told me, President Tshisekedi, that you have no idea, he's very thankful for what you're doing, for what your administration is doing. Not only him, the entire Congolese people, they see that finally they will have hope. And President Tshisekedi also mentioned at the end of my interview that when peace finally comes to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, he's thinking to nominate you as a Nobel Prize Peace, because he said you have been working to bring peace in the world, not only at the Congo, and he's very hopeful to meet you in the future.
What she said actually warms my heart. That woman really means it. She's from a country where millions have died, and it looks like things have been settled. And it's because the Trump administration went in there to help. So I think that's great. Plus, they are now, as she said, nominating him for Nobel Peace Prize. I've heard others say he can get it. No problem at all, which is amazing because they usually only give it to liberal people. Obama got one for doing nothing. They just liked him, so they gave him a Peace Prize. That's how the liberals work. So Trump is also trying to pressure Israel into entering into a ceasefire with the Palestinians in Gaza. And it's tough for Israel because of the horrible, horrible things the Hamas did, which are Palestinians, on October 7th, 2 years ago. It was horrible. I've never heard of them. They're like animals the way they treated or took care of innocent civilians. Just horrible. So anyway, but Israel lost around 1,500 to 2,000, whereas Palestinians have lost close to 40,000 in this war. So it's lopsided. If they enter into a ceasefire, the problem with Hamas is they won't return the hostages. And if they would, things would be a lot better over there. We'll see if they do it with a ceasefire. Also, they keep saying, doesn't matter, they're going to do it again. Man, how do you settle with somebody like that? And then you try to find them, they're all hidden behind their families, and that's how Palestinians get killed. But anyway, things are looking more positive there. So when you add up all these things, peace treaties here, there, and everywhere, the other thing that's going on is the Abraham Accords. Started under Trump's first administration. The Abraham Accords are agreements where the Middle East Arab countries will sign agreements with Israel, not only peace, but trade, exchange ambassadors, have normal relationships. And so far, the countries that have signed are the United Arab Emirates, Iran, Morocco, and Sudan. So that's 4 countries. I realize they aren't the toughest ones, but they're working on Jordan, Saudi Arabia. It started with Saudi Arabia until Biden was elected, and he called the crown prince or whatever he is, pariah, because he was suspected of being involved in the murder of that journalist from Saudi Arabia. Probably was, but it's better that we have Saudi Arabia on our side than Russia's side and China's side. That's how you have to look at things. So now that Biden's out, Saudi Arabia is coming back into the fold, and there's a good chance they would sign. If they would sign, that would bring a bunch of other Arab countries in on the Abraham Accords. So to add to all of that good news is the stock market is reaching record levels now. They said the tariffs would kill it. The tariffs have been working out great with just about every country. We had an incident with Canada over the weekend where Trump said we're not dealing with Canada anymore. They're going to have a huge tariff placed on their goods, and because China had one on ours, and they didn't want to talk about it. Now Canada said, okay, we'll do it. And so they are in discussions with us now to enter into a trade agreement, tariff agreement. So that was good news. And it's funny, with all of this stuff going on, the Democrats losing elections, what do? They elect a communist for the Democrat primary in New York. Democrats always win. This is for the mayor of New York. Here's what Trump has to say about it.
I think he's terrible. He's a communist. The last thing we need is a communist. I said there will never be socialism in the United States. Now we have a communist. So I think he's bad news. And I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with him, watching him, because he has to come right to this building to get his money. And don't worry, he's not going to run away with anything. I think he's Frankly, I've heard he's a total nut job. I think the people of New York are crazy. If they go this route, I think they're crazy. We will have a communist for the first time, really, a pure, true communist. He wants to operate the grocery stores, the department stores. What about the people that are there? I think it's crazy.
So keep it all up, Mr. Trump. Keep it going. You are making America great again. And I have liberal friends. I hope they don't dislike me. But I like them. I don't care how they feel, if they're a friend or a friend. And we can discuss our differences, but doesn't mean I dislike them. I'll break bread with them or anything. So anyway, let's keep it going that way. That's all for now. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.